right, time for our final couple. I'm excited.
Yes, very much so. So, David and Stephen. I'll start. Stephen Michael Carr is the Director of Development for local nonprofit Mattingly Edge. He uses storytelling to help people understand why there must be room at the community table for people with disabilities. And when he isn't shamelessly convincing people to donate money with rhetoric, you can often find him at the old Louisville brewery drinking or pouring beer and listening to sweet, sweet jams on the speaker system, often with his beloved Pitbull sidekick, Mercy May Marlene.
Aw, give it up for Steven. We will do...
He's trying to game the bio.
David Bannister is a man of many talents. When he's not being an amazing work-at-home husband, he likes to redecorate rooms, bake incredibly unhealthy foods, which are delicious, by the way, chew with his mouth open. So honest. It's really honest. Watch movies in theaters, volunteer with or for some liberal cause, share puppy pictures, and play games like video, board, card. They're all good. In the past, he's won at the Louisville Moth Story Slam, as well as appeared at the Moth Grand Slam in 2017. Please give it up for David. And David and Steven.
Yeah, come on up. All right, so
We're helping you get your diversity quota for the evening.
All right, so call it in midair.
Tails.
You said tits?
Tails.
Oh, okay. It is tails. Tails of Chavez.
This is exactly what Steven wanted. And yeah, so I love video games. I've been playing video games my entire life. I was a poor kid, grew up in a trailer, and video games were like a necessity, to get out of your situation. It started with an Atari that I got when I was young. Then we became Nintendo fanboys. And so I had a Nintendo, then I had a Super Nintendo, and then I had the best ever, the original Game Boy. That was my favorite. I love that thing, the one with the original stereo sound. Anyway, I could just reminisce, right? I got to get to the, more present. So that trend continues. I go off to college. I'm still playing video games. And I get into a long-term relationship with World of Warcraft. So you've all heard of it. Yeah, okay. So I started playing World of Warcraft. My character was a troll mage named Tabit. And he really stole my heart. He did. I played this game all the time. I had some friends join in with me, and we would stay up all night and while we were in college exploring the world of Azeroth. And it was everything. We loved it. Also going on around this time, so we joined an in-game guild. It's like a online family. And it was great because the people that led it were a married couple, and their kids played too, so it was family friendly, and it was awesome. We spent a lot of time together. Anyway, also yeah. So I spent a lot of time in this game, and also going on at the same time, I'm having a bit of an identity crisis where I'm coming to terms with my feelings, my gay feelings. And I'm like, oh, I'm gay. And I wasn't getting affirmative reactions from family about this, but my online friends were great. They were supportive. They made me feel like I wasn't a freak. I think it's because we were all freaks, but that's just what it was. But they were my emotional stability back then because I felt pretty alone. I was at a Catholic university, and so there was lots of just pressures going on around. And so they were really there for me. I started to come out to my friends and my family, and mostly positive and mostly good. But at this point, I got a firm set of friends that I have, or relationships I'd developed for years now that stayed with me. So I graduate school. I'm a post-college adult, and I meet this boy named Steven. And I had dated a little bit, not very much, and he was like one of the first guys that I was like, oh, I want to see more of this guy. And it turns out this 18-year-old twink also wanted to see more of me. So I was like, okay, this will work. So fast forward it a year later, we're moving in together because it's our first relationship. Everybody moves in a year later, right? And we things are going pretty well. He's in college. I'm graduated. I'm working 40 hours a week. He goes to school and then works at night. So we're not connecting very well in our free time. And so what do? I'm playing World of Warcraft. And everything's good on my end. I'm happy. And so we get a little further along, and we're at our 2.5-year mark. And Steven has had enough. He tells me, this has got to end. You are spending way too much time online. You play more with your damn troll mage than you do talking to me. So something's got to change. And so I did what any reasonable person would do in this relationship. I said, okay, I'll cut it back. Let's give me some rules. I'm really good with rules. If I have rules to follow, I'm good. I was raised to follow rules. And so we set some rules up, and yeah, just last month we celebrated 10 years of dating since we were together. We're really excited about that. That was that 2.5, that whole ultimatum thing was a real changing point for our relationship. So yes, maybe he's right. Maybe he was right about me playing too many video games. I do still play video games. I don't play WoW anymore. I had to let that go. But I don't. There was a whole community there that I was connected to. That I'm still connected to some of them. I just don't think Steven realized when he told me I needed to cut back, like what kind of sacrifice I was giving up to make that happen. But turns out he was worth it. So.
What do you do when the other woman is an 80-level troll mage named Tabit? What do you do? I was 19. How could I compete with that? I had just come out, and I had just started dating this guy named David, and things were wonderful. We were wonderful. We would watch each other's favorite movies, and we would listen to each other's favorite CDs, because back in the day, people used to listen to CDs, yeah. And things were great. He took me on Valentine's Day to the Rudyard Kipling for clogging lessons, and I wrote him an original song on my guitar. But you know how relationships usually go after a certain period of time, right? The honeymoon phase ends, things kind of plateau, and you coast a little bit. Well, our plateau came in the shape of a level 80 troll mage named Tabit, his World of Warcraft character. And he was Tabit a lot of time. And the thing about World of Warcraft is that you don't ever beat the game. Like, you can just keep playing it forever. Right? Like, I remember this one time, my friend Aaron, it was a Friday night, and my friend Aaron wanted to go to Cafe 360. And I was like, well, it's Friday, sure, why not? But David was adamant that we have some alone time, and we watch this movie that he had gotten as soon as he was finished raiding. Now, raiding, for those of you not in the know, is code for who the hell knows how long this is going to take. So I sat down on the couch and waited for him to finish his raid. 3 hours later, he logs off the computer and is really confused whenever I have no desire whatsoever to cuddle with him whenever he turns that movie on. Now, I'm not saying don't have hobbies, okay? Because if you tell me that I'm not allowed to read books anymore, like, we're done, you know? But Tabbit was taking up his entire life. That fucking troll mage was taking up everything, okay? And meanwhile, the pile of dirty clothes next to our bed, okay, from him, his dirty clothes, not mine, his, kept piling higher and higher and higher. And instead of like washing them and putting them away like a normal person would do, he just bought more clothes that ended up on top of the pile once he wore them. We had another pile of dishes that were in the sink because we lived in this really shitty walk-up apartment in Audubon Park. Yes, there are shitty apartment walk-ups in Audubon Park. And, you know, our dishwasher were my two hands. Heaven forbid he wash a dish, you know? And it's like, I'm doing the dishes, I'm doing all the cooking, I'm doing all the cleaning, I'm working 30 hours a week for this woman right here. And I'm taking 19 credit hours at Bellarmine University in the honors program. And I'm young and trying to have some semblance of a social life. So basically, I never slept, right? So it's around this time of raiding and servitude that I turn 21 and I'm able to go out to bars, right? And it's in these spaces that I come to this kind of epiphany. Some people think that I'm attractive. Like, I can be sexy, right? Now, here's the people wanted me. Some of them did. And here's the thing. When you grow up in like as a conservative Southern Baptist closeted gay man in Shepherdsville, okay? Like this whole idea of people finding you attractive is like just you don't like it doesn't exist, right? You just don't even think about it. You don't even think that that's a possibility. And so here I am while I'm having this kind of like sexual epiphany, right? David is starting to gain weight because he's sitting at his computer all day and is only eating whenever I cook food to feed him. Now, I have the metabolism of a bullet train, and I eat a lot, right? Which means that David was eating a lot and not exercising. And so he started to gain weight. Now, I am not trying to fat shame anybody. I am just saying that there is some cosmic injustice going on where I am just now getting comfortable with myself and recognizing, hey, I'm not half bad, right? And and I've got all these different people who are like interested in dating me, and yet I'm spending all of my time with this guy who is making me wash and dry and fold and put away his laundry and do all of the cooking and all of the cleaning while I'm doing all of this other stuff, and yet he's never expected to do any of those things. It's perfectly fine to sit on his chair at the computer all evening long, puts in no effort to look nice for me, even though I'm supposed to look pretty all the time, right? You know, so it's like, what the fuck is up with that, right? Right? Like, I hate to gender stereotype, but like, ladies, if you have ever had a partner who has exhibited these behaviors, can I get like an amen or something? Like, and yes, thank you, sir, thank you. And and so, you know, at the end of the day, it's not like I'm saying that David needed to give up any sort of hobbies that he had, or that he needed to, you know, do anything. I did not owe him any level of worship or thank you whenever he managed to wash a fucking dish, you know? Like, which was another thing that was kind of expected of me. I'm just saying. But your significant other, who you, like, come into physical contact with every day, should take precedence over a group of people that you have never met before on the internet. Like, you've never met them. You don't know that they're actually a married couple with with children. I mean, probably, but you don't know that. So in the end, I ended up having to give him an ultimatum. It was either tab at the level 80 troll mage or it was me. And luckily for both of us, he chose me. And for the record, he still plays lots of video games, but now, in addition to that, he helps me by going to the grocery. Sometimes he cooks, and if I'm really lucky, he will even fold the laundry. But getting him to put the laundry away is a different story. Thank you.
I don't know what a troll mage is. I'm like, I just need clarification before we. What is a troll mage?
It's like the trolls that were under a bridge or something like that. It's a race of people. You never played Dungeons and Dragons either, like.
When I was 5, I played Dungeons, but I was terrible at it. So I'm sorry. I'm like imagining like a barmaid in a troll form.
No, it's a troll mage. It's not a maid.
But that's how my brain
Get
works.
straight, woman. Like a mage is like a wizard. We all know.
I did not know what the word
Everybody
mage
knows.
means. Okay. All right.
Anyway, let us begin with seeing who is right. We have David Bannister.
Thanks, guys.
I have the feeling the troll mage isn't pulling the points that David had hoped it might have.
Okay. And let's give it up for Stephen Carr. There is only one prize left, so
And-
let's see what it is.
I have something.
It is not, actually.
I have something quick to add, real quick, about these guys, which is they did find a way to combine to do video gaming together, which is that they get
this is
online
true.
and they play video games, and then people watch them play video games online.
Because they are hilarious. I'm like, I don't watch the video game, I watch them. Okay.